Hello, this is Michael Peters again, and I have just submitted 3 pages from my divorce decree. The back page is just to show you that, or 2 pages from the divorce decree rather, that the judge, James Douglas Squire, the judge filling in, the judge whose realtor is selling my land for half price, did something very strange. Now, I refused to even go to the final divorce hearing because I knew that what they were doing were lies, and I have no faith in the legal system. But he did something, maybe out of his conscience, that really baffles me, and that is that he scratched out many things on this divorce decree and put his initials on it, as you can see there, at the very end, excuse me. And what he's scratched out here says, the court finds that Michael Jeffrey Peters has a history or pattern of neglect of Dalton Jeffrey Peters during the 2 years period preceding the filing of this suit or during the pendency of this suit. So this judge has scratched out any medical neglect. Well, the jury found that I get joint custody of my son. So the question is, why did this judge scratch out the medical neglect? That's what took my son, Dr. Zoann Dreyer's lie. This is letting you know that she must have been lying, along with the other evidence, and the fact that she had filed the medical report with a lie in it 30 minutes before our appointment time, because the lab results showed that they came out at 9:15 when she had already filed the report 30 minutes earlier at 8:45. And that's posted already, so today. And the reason I haven't been able to get this to you is because I had to buy a printer, and then I had to download it and things like that. But this judge didn't scratch out Access Builds Children, ABC. This is something I have to pay for and bring my son to so we can go sit in a room and be monitored, because I medically neglected my son. But if he scratched out the part in the final decree saying there was no medical neglect of my son, as Dr. Dreyer said, then there's absolutely no reason why the jury's decision to give us joint custody isn't withstanding. None of this makes any sense. None of it. And this is just proving that none of this makes any sense. Now, I do want to say another thing, and I'm about ready to post a couple other papers where this judge was put in at the very last minute, who got his realtor friend of 30 years. I guess that was his part of the take of for showing up to dispose of my hearing after a year of Judge Tracy Gilbert doing it. Now, Judge Tracy Gilbert did his part by making sure I didn't have any witnesses, CPS, the sheriffs, any of the medical reports. None of that was ever allowed to come out in court. I spit it out the best I could. Maybe enough to this judge he could see it. But at any rate, he's got his realtor selling my land for $103,000. That's what the land's worth. 20,000 acres, 5 1/4 acres. And he only picked his friend to do it, when by law I had three people I could have put down to appraise that property, but he took it on his own to put his friend in, a Coldwell banker over in Waller, Texas, which the bank called me up today and asked me, that said that this lady wanted to buy it and they were going to take the note, but I had to agree. Well, certainly I didn't agree, because I worked in Iraq 3 years, and every penny I have is on that land. I mean, the land itself is 103,000 at 20 an acre, let's say, because I mean my neighbors bought theirs an acre for 23 and 21,000 just recently. And why would mine not at least be worth 20 an acre? And what about the 30,000 in fence? The well, the septic, and the bridge was another 30,000. There's 60,000. Then let's put in the house that I built with my own hands out of and I'm a builder. And I also built a house across the street. These houses are strong, made out of 3/4 plywood, rough cut timbers, bolted together. I have built a bathroom in the back. I have a guest house. I have a pump house. I have a chicken pen, a rabbit hutch. 13 months it took me to clear the land. I have infrastructure. All this for free. So these people can line their pockets with the money that I worked when all this stuff happened over there in Iraq. And what really motivated me was what happened to the American over there. And I felt I needed to do something for my country. And I could also do something for my family. It's being stolen and liquidated by cronyism. I had the Houston Police Internet Squad talking about these videos. And they've talked to me before about the doctor's videos. Now they're talking about the judge's videos. They're a little bit upset because I'm saying that this judge is using his own realtor friend of 30 years to sell out my property for half its value. And I guess the judge is crying to the internet police now who want to meet with me, or asked to meet with me. I'm not living in Harris County. As far as I know, they don't have any jurisdiction over me. And if the judge wants to go to court and explain why he's using his own realtor friend, instead of letting me pick the 3 realtors that I could have put down there, because it had a blank for 3 realtors to be listed. His realtor friend was already in the courtroom. I didn't know who she was, but bam, she stood up, and there you go. They probably played this game many times before. The judge could have gave 3 acres to my wife or 2 acres to me, and my son could have stayed on this beautiful piece of property I developed. But instead of that, he's selling it for half the price to it and letting his friend do it so she can make her commission and pay for the courts and to hell with Michael Peters, Dalton Jeffrey Peters, and even my ex-wife. Well, I'm fighting against this corruption. I do appreciate the judge scratching out that, but he already knew that that was fake. And you've already seen the evidence to that. And there's plenty more where that came from. They're selling out my property and stole my son through a lie. The only reason that without the medical neglect, well, Dr. Dreyer, that's just another thing saying that Dr. Dreyer lied. But they're not going to stop this whole thing going to ABC and all that, because if they started doing that, you'd really have to call for a new trial, because all they had against me was Dr. Dreyer's lie of neglect for 4 weeks and saying I told her that, which was another lie. So they can't very well, because they have to protect Baylor College of Medicine and Texas Children's Hospital, these administrations. If it's found out that the doctor lied in the child's medical record and faxed it to the court, this lie, then you know as well as I do how damaging that's going to be for Baylor, where she works, and Texas Children's Hospital. Baylor, where she's employed, and Texas Children's Hospital, where she works. They're not going to allow that. The cover-up is deep all the way to the Texas Medical Board. These people are criminals in our judicial system. Criminals all the way up to the medical board, where Governor Rick Perry, he's the chief in command. I'm not going to say Rick Perry knows all about this. I don't know that for a fact. But I know he's in charge over there. I put him on, tag him on these videos. Maybe Rick Perry would like to stand up for Dalton Jeffrey Peters, for the land that I risk helping my country and the soldiers in Iraq. Maybe he's a stand-up governor. I don't know. But I know just scratching out this lie of medical neglect doesn't mean anything to me because I already knew it was a lie. I'm asking listeners out there if any of you can help me and my son have the joint custody that the jury granted us and save my property from being given away. 6.5 years I slaved on that property. 8 years I thought, well, I want land, and I want to build a house, and if I walked down the street and found a nail, I picked it up and I was on my way. I thought of nothing for 8 years to build something for my family, my son, and my stepdaughter to grow up on. Somewhere where they could get fresh air, the tall pine trees in Hockley, Texas, right next to Magnolia where they have the Renaissance Festival. That was my dream. I have no money because every penny I have is in that land. The building materials, Century 21 estimated at $180,000. Now, I didn't do that. I had my own realtor friend, and we bought the price up and down, just seeing what the market was about. But Century 21 came in, and they said 180, and I said, is that all? And they had it listed. But now this judge has got his friends from Coldwell Banker, and Coldwell Banker, personally, I don't guess they're at any fault for this. I'm having it investigated with the manager of the office of Brent and Nancy Rollins. See what he says about it. I don't know what these people will do, but he seemed like an honest person, and that was refreshing for me. And I told the internet police in an email, I said, well, if you want to bring me to court, you tell the judge that he's going to have to bring his realtor friend for 30 years and explain why this cronyism and giving your friends commissions to sell land and cheap and just line their pockets with my life savings. How that's going to work, I don't know. But they'll have to prove it to a jury. If anybody out there can help me and my son, and I would appreciate any help. My email's allkrafting@yahoo.com. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to talk with people about people who care about children with cancer. People who care about children's medical records being lied in. People that care about doctors committing aggravated perjury, knowing and fax that live to my wife's attorney to use. But even this judge scratched out the medical neglect part, and it's already posted. So please look at that. I have no reason to lie about what's going on. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Look at the evidence. It's posted. God bless you. And please help us if we can. Me and Dalton. Dalton needs a father, and I need my son back. God bless you.